I want to say good afternoon and welcome everyone to Hard Bargain Farm, Alice Ferguson Foundation, and our beautiful environmental campus. I'm Theresa Cullen. I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation. There are many people here. This is a wonderful representation, and I'm so glad to see all of you here today. This is a momentous event for our foundation, and it's fitting to begin this ceremony with a land acknowledgement. As a leader of the Alice Ferguson Foundation, I acknowledge that the land on which we gather today is the ancestral home of the Piscataway peoples. Through this acknowledgement, we recognize these communities and all of those who have been displaced. This afternoon, we gather to celebrate the final building project of the Potomac Watershed Study Campus. The vision for this campus began 20 years ago with our educators, many of who are sitting here now. I see them out in the audience. Can you say hi? Brenda's here and Sharon. At the members that were at the charrette so long ago, with the vision to have a living, sustainable study campus that would allow students and the community to understand and appreciate the natural world and find joy in nature. And as I was told, it all began with the Pavilion, the idea to have children outdoors and enjoying nature. And here we are today. Since the original land use plan was created in 2005, we have developed a living shoreline along the Potomac River, keeping the sacred land of the Piscataway from further erosion. We also completed the only living building behind us here in the state of Maryland, right here in Prince George's County, with 2 overnight sleeping cabins for our programs and providing opportunities for thousands of students to enjoy the natural world and find joy in nature. It took many years and many individuals to make this project happen, and we are so pleased to have so many of you here with us today, and specifically to many of our speakers who supported and to make this possible. I'm going to introduce our first speaker. It's Delegate Kris Valderrama, who represents Maryland's 26th Legislative District. Ms. Valderrama's leadership and support has made our building construction possible through her continued submission of the capital bond bills. This financial support is critical to maintaining this property and providing the resources we need to keep our space functional, safe, and sustainable for our programs. I present Delegate Kris Valderrama.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
I figure we need to perk up because it's quite brisky out here. I just want to say, for those who've never met me, which I would be surprised if you haven't, I try to come out here all the time, but I've never met a mic I didn't like, so if I ramble on, just cut me off, but I think I'll do that on my own just because how frigid it is out here. But I just want to say that is my esteemed pleasure and honor to be here with all of you, with the county exec's office, with Dr. Goldson's office, and with all the educators here that were pointed out earlier for this project, for the Potomac Watershed Project. I will say Theresa Cullen has done a phenomenal job on your behalf of coming up to Annapolis, well, at least when you were welcome before COVID, to come up and explain why this is such a needed program here. I am biased because it is in the 26th Legislative District, but I am just happy that it is here. My children never really got to experience the projects that were here, but I brought them around several times when I was a freshman legislator, and I was amazed at what you guys do here. I will admit I am not the most hands-on, nature, earthy kind of person, but I support my constituents who are, and the farmers, and all those who played a part in this project. As Theresa mentioned, I did diligently try every year to submit bond measures on behalf of the Alice Ferguson Foundation. And her predecessor, Lori, who would come up every year with fresh eggs, which was such a delight. I miss the eggs, by the way, so if anyone wants to come up to Annapolis, we start the session in 4 weeks. I will be there waiting for the eggs. When she first came to me and told me about the project, I was like, sure, this sounds like a great idea. And then when she got into it more, and I was thinking about the students in my district, especially those who aren't as familiar with this type of program, whether they don't have the resources to participate or their guardians don't have the resources to allow them to participate, because I've looked at the programs from elementary to junior high to high school, and I think it's a great option for our students in Prince George's County and elsewhere, because I know everyone's welcome here, to get a hands-on training of what this program and what this foundation does, to promote other career paths, which I am a supporter of. With that said, every year she came, I joked with her and I said, "You're coming at me again for money?" But that was a joke. When she did show me the program, I am a staunch supporter and believer, and I'm just so pleased to see that is coming to fruition, that the project is complete. I would not be surprised if you guys come back and say there's another, but I am willing to support as much as I can and willing to get my district teams. There's a new team coming in with me to support the Alice Ferguson Foundation. And so with that, it is my esteemed honor to be here with all of you, and please know that my door is always open. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kris. Kris and I were just talking. I met Kris, and I did bring eggs. Alice Ferguson Foundation was known as Eggs, and Kay Powell's here, and Kay Powell was an executive director with us. You started the eggs, didn't you, Kay?
I did.
You did.
Thank you.
But I started.
So when we would go up to Maryland, and people would be like, the egg people are here. And the eggs are beautiful and colorful, and everyone likes the fresh eggs. And then, of course, when the pandemic hit, it became virtual. But we'll be back, and we'll be back with eggs, Kris. So that's what we are known for because of the farm. So anyway, thank you again, Kris. It's wonderful to have you here. I want to next, our county executive, Angela Also-Brooks, was unable to attend this morning at last minute. So she has sent Andrea Crooms, who's our director of the Department of the Environment for Prince George's County. We have a long working history with Prince George's County, being part of the county here. We're committed to working alongside the county to support environmental initiatives. One of the largest initiatives from the county executive is trash and cleanups. And as many of you know, we have been involved with trash cleanups for many years, doing the trash cleanups throughout Potomac. So it's my great pleasure to introduce Ms. Andrea Crooms.
Thank you for the applause. I'm sure everyone is disappointed that I am not Angela Also-Brooks, but I will do my best. And I can bring you eggs. So they're duck eggs, but I've got eggs. So my name is Andrea Crooms. I'm the director of the Department of Environment here in Prince George's County. I'm also a farmer in South County, so these are my backwoods, and I am really excited to see this project come to fruition. I know this project's now I even know more than the notes that I have, that it's 20 years in the development. So it says so much about it that there's this much enthusiasm, 20 years later, for folks to come out on a chilly day to open this next step for the foundation. So I do want to just acknowledge both the state delegate for being here, as well as the CEO of there you went, Goldson, of the county schools. And I want to talk a little bit about, I learned a lot about the Ferguson Foundation while I was preparing these notes, and that this is 100 years from when Alice and Henry Ferguson, who were in love with the natural beauty of our county that still exists today. We all know it's out there. We love to wander, in the fields and the forests of our county. But it was there, it was 100 years, it's now 100 years after they first came to the county, and that we're doing this ribbon cutting. Our residents care a lot about these issues. As a Department of Environment, one of our focuses has really been about going out into the community and finding out how the community views environmentalism and how they see themselves in the natural environment. Traditionally, the environmental movement has been somewhat exclusionary. We're trying to change that paradigm and talk to every resident about what it is that you care about in Prince George's County, what it is that you care about in your community. And this is a great way to foster those conversations with young people, with teachers. It's why we launched the beautification initiative. It's why we're working on our litter blitz to clean up our roadways. It's why we have our Growing Green with Pride Community Cleanup. It's why just this Monday we got a tremendous award from the USDA to work on community and climate-centric farming. Why we're doing initiatives like our PGC composting, where every resident who receives county trash services can have composting picked up right at their front curb. So we are both working on the growing effects of climate change and still working in the pieces that are important, that are environmental, that aren't climate change. It's exciting that there are organizations like the Foundation in our own backyard that have these same ideals. Alice learned so much from the natural world, and the foundation that carries her name also carries her influence by using nature as a living classroom. They already reach over 10,000 students per year with their environmental education programs that enhance the children's learning experience, and they're committed to continuing a strong relationship with the county schools. With today's ribbon cutting, the foundation unveils this education pavilion that can host students, community groups, and visitors, and can see not only the pavilion itself, but I can see the BMPs that people can experience and see that stormwater management can be beautiful, stormwater management can be green, stormwater management can be working with the natural environment, not fighting against it. So we're really excited about embarking on this initiative. We're really excited about the ongoing partnership with the foundation. We're excited to have the 13th living building in the world, right here in our own backyard. So we just look forward to ongoing partnership, and we're excited to be invited here to celebrate this with you today. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to learning about your farm too, right here in our, also nearby. Mr. Harrison is not able to attend this morning. He also has had he's actually meeting with the county executive. So anyway, his staff, Eric Bowman's not here yet, is he? No, okay. We have a member of his staff coming, but we'll meet him at the reception. So I'd like to present now Dr. Monica Goldson. We've partnered with Prince George's County Public Schools since the 1960s, providing the day and the overnight programs, and also every summer, 2 weeks, a teacher institute. And as an alumna of Prince George's County Public Schools, I remember my own overnight experience at Schmidt Center in Brandywine. What's that? We both went to Schmidt, okay. Maybe at the same time, we'll have to see. I'm proud to continue leading an organization that continues to make this possible for other children. The Prince George's County school system is deeply committed to the environmental education, ensuring that students experience the world outside the classrooms, making sure that all students 5th or 6th grade have an overnight experience, whether here or at Schmidt Center, and then of course with our day programs as well. We look forward to our students returning to us in January. We'll have 15 schools this semester, and we look forward to having overnight programs again. So I present now the Chief Executive Officer of Prince George's County Public Schools, Dr. Monica Goldson.
Good afternoon and welcome. I too love the outdoors, but when it's wintertime, I like it underneath that heater. So thank you. So thank you for the heaters. I do want to say through our collaborative support with our community stakeholders and our Board of Education, we were able to release a climate change action plan at the beginning of this school year that has now already received national recognition. So we're excited that the future of Prince George's County Public Schools makes sure that we contribute to reducing the carbon footprint. And our partnership with Alice Ferguson Foundation continues to allow us to do that. We modeled our outdoor education program housed at William Smith Outdoor Science Education Center, which I too had the opportunity to participate in. Of course, we heard 2 others, and both of my children participated in since 1971. The unfortunate thing is probably it still looks like it was built in 1971. But we are grateful through state funding we'll be able to begin to upgrade that facility. For many years, the Alice Ferguson Foundation has been a valued collaborative partner with the Smith Center, and it has helped us to ensure every last one of our 5th graders have the opportunity to have an overnight environmental experience. So they get to come here, or they are able to go to William Smith Center, and that's what we all remember so fondly. The foundation also provides education opportunities for our teachers, as already shared, and students of all grade levels, fostering environmental stewardship in our youth and increasing understanding of our impact on not only the Potomac River watershed, but the world beyond. This partnership has played a major role in making Prince George's Public Schools the leader in the state for certified Maryland Green Schools. We have a total of 135 schools that are green certified, so thank you. That means 65% of our total schools are certified. We have 198, so we only have a few more to go. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation and thanks to the Alice Ferguson Foundation staff for all you have done for our amazing partnership and for your support of our teachers in Prince George's County. And I also want to congratulate you for the addition to this beautiful new study center and look forward to our continued partnership in many, many, many more years to come. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Goldson. I didn't realize you two went to Schmidt. That's wonderful. Okay, so that's 3 of us up here. That's
My
great.
kids went too.
Well, my kid actually you might have seen him at the second entrance. He was letting people in. So we all want our children and everyone in nature and outdoors. So I'd like to now introduce someone who has been a wonderful supporter of this foundation and of the outdoors, and particularly the living building. It's our board president, Mr. Stephen Kim. He's been working with us for the last 10 years as an avid supporter of the foundation and working alongside with the building projects. His leadership has been vital to the success of the organization. It's my pleasure to introduce him today, Mr. Stephen Kim.
Thank you, Theresa. It's been really interesting listening to the previous speakers because most of them are coming from a 10,000-foot level. I want to apologize. I've only lived here for about 20 years and been involved with this organization for about 12. I look out at this audience and I see people whose children, my children grew up with. We grew up with this in our backyard. We danced at the old lodge house, the Wareham Lodge. To be a part of all this Capert Center from the ground up is amazing. And to see so many of my neighbors and friends here who were part of this, who actually pushed and pulled and dragged people to make this happen is amazing. So thank you very much for attending. Shirley and Frank Nicolai. I'm honored to dedicate this beautiful pavilion to Shirley and Frank Nicolai. They both have a long history of commitment to the Alice Ferguson Foundation, stemming from their visit with their son's elementary school that led to years of leadership in the gardens and board director. Shirley from 2001 to 2009, and Frank from 2010 to 2016. Naming this pavilion after the Nicolais is a fitting honor, but it also tells a broader story of what we do. What started as a single visit to Bargain Farm evolved into a long-term dedication to this organization, which has happened to so many people who are in this room and in the area, whether long-term, short-term, but one visit, whether they came here as a student, overnight camper, that experience impacted so many people to contribute to what this place is now. Think about that in the context of the mission of the Alice Ferguson Foundation. We provide extraordinary environmental education, connecting children to the natural beauty that Southern Maryland and the Potomac Watershed have to offer. But more than that, we seek to instill a sense of wonder that leads to a lifelong appreciation of sustainability, environmental stewardship, and community service. Our goal is always to offer an experience that will stay with the kids we serve throughout their lives. That's what we've done here at AFF for 68 years. That's what we will continue to do well into the future. It brings me tremendous joy to see the organization continue to grow and evolve after all these years. I'm grateful to the elected leaders and community members who joined us. Thank you so much for coming out in this cold day. Your support and belief in our mission is what brought us here today, and your commitment to our work is what gives me hope for our future. I would like to invite Shirley and Frank Nicolai up here to say a few words, and then we'll Shirley,
Steve, why don't you present the
Oh.
plaque? And then we'll do-
I would love to present this plaque to Shirley and Frank. We will be mounting this in a location, and thank you so much for your contributions and your time, your efforts, and your financial support.
Originally, we thought that we were going to help fund a classroom. But this open pavilion is really so much better because it's so much nicer for children to be outside. And when the children come here, they learn how to live gently on the land, which is so crucial. And they can learn that their actions have an impact on the environment, and perhaps they can even go home and educate their parents.
Well, Shirley and I support the Alice Ferguson Foundation, not only for these great facilities, but for the dedicated staff that basically spark the curiosity of young people in learning about nature, which I think is so important. My own story is as a young person, I grew up in the city and played ball for 9 months in the schoolyard across the street. But for 3 months, I worked on a farm and grew some vegetables and picked some fruits and learned a little bit about nature. And I continue to be amazed about nature when something like a little seed, when planted and cared for, can grow into vegetables, trees, roses, and whatever have you. And it's just amazing, and I keep on being amazed, even at my age, at what how nature accomplishes its mission, and to realize that that little seed in the plant world is the same phenomena in the human and animal world. So thanks very much. Oh, we gotta cut the.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh, you gotta go to the other side. Huh? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'll be very careful with these. Thank you so much for coming. We have refreshments in the living building, and we want to feature one of the Prince George's County wineries is here with us, Jane Mark, and Calvert Brewery, Molise Brewery. So please join us now, and oh, Mr. Bowman here. Eric, would you like to say hello? Mr. Bowman is Chief of Staff for Sidney Harrison, our District 9. And do you remember, Mr. Bowman, that before the pandemic, you agreed that you were going to spend a few nights out here in our bunkhouse? Now you can. You and Mr. Harrison were going to have a boys camp here with us, and then the pandemic hit. But Sidney Harrison was so excited about, he's a former scout, right? He couldn't wait for it. You didn't seem as excited about spending the night here.
Yeah, that was his idea, you know. I'm more of the comfort guy. You know, I need a softer bed. Not saying the bed's here not comfortable, but
we understood. We understood. Not it does. But anyway, if you'd like to say a few words, we just did the.
And my apologies for my tardiness. We had a couple of meetings this morning, and the councilman extends his apologies and regrets for not being able to make it. He had to meet with the county executive this afternoon, so he had some pressing council business. But my name is Eric Bowman. I serve as the Chief of Staff for Councilman Sidney Harrison, and the Hard Bargain Farm is right here in District 9. You know, I came out here pre-pandemic a couple of times, a few times we came out, and I was just blown away by how beautiful the property is. And the last time I was here, they didn't have this pavilion, so this is like very nice. The facilities, the programs is extremely nice and what our community needs, and we're looking to continue to work with the Alice Ferguson Group, the Hard Bargain Farm, to ensure that we as the council continue to support your efforts and be a resource for all the great things that you're already doing here. So we're only a phone call away. If you ever need us, do not hesitate. And you know, I'll send the councilman back to spend the night as he promised. And we were working with Dr. Goldson, how you doing, Doctor? And the school system was trying to bring me a boys camp here, but then COVID hit and everything fell by the wayside. But now that we're coming out of COVID, we can go back to revisiting some of the great things that we would like to do in partnership with the Hard Bargain Farm. All right, and thank you so much, and I apologize again for my tardiness.
So please stay and join us in Capers for reception. So wonderful to have all of you here. Thank you.